Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing burgers 3 ways. We're going to do a vegetarian burger, we're going to do a chicken burger, we're going to do a normal beef burger. Yeah, these are really like simple go-to things that you can do when you're super lazy or when you feel like, okay, I want to do burgers. This is what you would pretty much do. I'm going to pair them with wedges because wedges are the bomb. Weirdly I prefer wedges over fries. Like everyone else, like fries. I prefer wedges over fries because I don't know, it works. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we go on, please do like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends to tell their friends, and their friends to tell their families. Please get the message to the WhatsApp aunties, right? Because the WhatsApp aunties have got the juice, you know, and they will make sure that everybody lands on the video today. So let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so I have cut the potatoes and what I'm into wedges. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add some salt. Not too much, just enough so that the potato is not bland because you're still going to put flavoring on top. I'm going to take 3 cloves of garlic in there, and then I'm going to just take 1.5 sprigs of rosemary too. This is just to flavor the potatoes while they cook. Then I'm going to pour in hot water. I know I usually say that it's a cold water start, but this is a shortcut if I kind of want things to cook a little bit quicker. So what we're going to do is we're parboiling. We're not boiling fully because if we boil fully, it's going to be very difficult for us to actually fry them afterwards. So we're going to parboil them a little bit. Then we're going to leave them to just cool down a little bit. And then after this one, we're going to fry. So I'm going to get this on the stove and then I'm going to get into the burgers. Okay, so here I've got a mixture of mince. If you can see, this one is dark. This is ground beef and this is the mince at the bottom. Last time I made the burgers, I took out 2 packets of ground beef, but it wasn't enough, or it wasn't as much as I would have liked it to be. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to add in the spices and then mix everything together. So I'm starting with, I always use sea salt like all the time. This is what I use in most cases. Just a generous portion of that, and then I'm going to come in with some black pepper. I like using black peppercorns. There's nothing wrong with using powder, but I usually like using black peppercorns because it's just much better for me personally. It's a personal thing, guys. And anybody who knows me knows I love black pepper. Like, I can't smile about it. And what I'm going to be using here is I've got some coriander from Pick n Pay. So I'm going to be using some ground coriander for this. I'm just going to a generous helping of some ground coriander. As you know, I'm also going to use some chili flakes that I got from Food Lovers Market. Not too much. These actually have a kick to them, so please don't put too much. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm also going to just add some parsley, which again I got from Food Lovers Market as well. Just a good portioning of that. Okay, so I've added my parsley, and now last but not least is some onion. I use red onion because I just like it better than I do normal onion. But you can use whichever one. Hey, I'm just going to add a little bit of oil in here, just a little, just so I can get everything mixed in together. Okay, so that would be that, and then obviously you could have, I always go by faith, hey? So I'm just going to get some breadcrumbs. I didn't get the panko kind, I just got the finer ones. I'm going to add a little bit, not too much, just a little, so that it holds a little bit better. And I'm going to obviously go in there again and just make sure that everyone is mixed in together. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shape them and then leave them in the fridge to hold in for a little bit longer. Saw some mushrooms from Pick n Pay. I got the mixed chopped mushrooms that has the brown and the white button mushrooms. I'm going to put that in there. What I'm going to do is, with that butter going, I'm going to add in some garlic because butter butter and garlic just make everything way better. I'm happy with these, so I'm gonna take these off and then carry on with everything else that needs to happen. So what I need to do now is I'm gonna just cut the mushrooms so that they're a little bit actually more manageable to form. But also the thing is, I don't want to take away from the chunkiness of them, so it's just a rough chop, like nothing too major, just a rough chop, so that at least, you know, they're, like I said, they're manageable to mold, to fold. They're manageable to fold, and yeah, it's going to be a little bit better from them going forward. So these are how these are going to be, and then I'm just going to transfer these back into a dish, and then we're going to add everything else that we need to add into that, and then we're going to mold them into some shapes. So you see here we've got our mushroom mixture going. What we're going to do now is going to obviously add in some spice and some breadcrumbs and all of that. So what I'm going to start with actually is I'm going to start with some oats. I'm going to use some jungle oats for this here, just to add a little bit texture to the burgers. So I don't really have it like how many I should, like how much like thingies I should put. So I don't really have, but just that looks like a tablespoon or so. But you add in obviously according to thingy. Then we're gonna add in some breadcrumbs because this is pretty much what's gonna mold everything together. And then I'm gonna add in some oregano. I'm using the Arbisan's one. Just about like once again, maybe like a teaspoon or so. I'm not really sure what you guys would like me to tell you guys here. And then I'm just gonna, obviously because I added in all those other things, I'm gonna get in here with some pepper. And then I'm also gonna add in obviously some sea salt. And then because obviously I feel like this is the one thing, if they ask me what must be in my cupboard, in a Palms Cajun spice. I love this so much, and what I figured with this recipe is it actually makes it taste like meat. For those who kind of like, oh, I want a vegetarian thing, but like I'm not really vegetarian, I want it to taste like meat, this is what you do. So then I'm going to go in there. You see what I'm saying about a mushroom burger is really tough, especially if your mushrooms didn't dry out in the pan, which as you can see my mushrooms did not dry up in the pan. So it's just a little bit like difficult to get into like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some more breadcrumbs, because this is, like I said, is pretty much what's gonna mold. I'm gonna put in an egg and a binder just for us to get, there we go, that's what we want, just for us to get that going so that it comes together. Perfect. So yeah, this is as perfect as it's gonna go. I'm actually gonna add in some parsley. I had literally forgotten to put parsley in. So those are fully molded. I hope you guys can actually see that. I'm gonna just leave this in the fridge for a little bit so that they can hold together. So I've got chicken breasts here that I'm going to be using, that I took out earlier on. So I'll just have two of them in here. Just gonna get some breadcrumbs, not too much of them. I'm actually only going to do two of them, crumbed, and then two just going to be normal Cajun thingies. And then obviously with breadcrumbs, you also need to flavor the breadcrumbs, or else you're going to end up with something that just isn't tasting alright. So I'm going to get some pepper in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sea salt as well in here. And then what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to get some Cajun spice, because I do kind of want it to still follow the Cajun. Just gonna get that in there a little bit. Cajun spice is nice because it already has things like chili flakes and the like. I'm just using normal paprika, I'm not using the smoked one. This is just normal paprika. Just adding some thyme in there just for a little extra flavor. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to be putting in here. Okay, 1 teaspoon. I'm going to just mix that up. And then I'm going to crumb it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to pass it through some flour. There's salt in here. And then I'm going to get into an egg mixture here. And then we're going to end with our breadcrumbs. Okay, so like I said, I had the other two breasts, well, one breast that was cut into 2 left. I'm just going to add some Cajun and some paprika in here. I'm just going to have 2 that are crumbed, and then the other 2 are just going to be normal, I guess, if I can say normal. Cool, so my potatoes are done. As you can see, they didn't actually overcook. They cooked as much as I would have liked them to. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of some oil in here so that my spices hold together. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Robertson's Master Blends rosemary and garlic mixture. As I'm going to add in some spice for rice. It's crazy. You might think this is only for rice. This is literally, it works wonders with potatoes as well. So I'm gonna add this also from Robertson's. That seems to be perfectly hot. Just gonna get the burgers in here. Okay, only 5 of them managed to get in there, not 2 extra on the side that need to go in. But for now, like I said, we're just gonna wait for that to finish. I like saucing my burgers before like they get onto the bun, if it makes sense. So that's what I'm gonna be doing with these. Also, I'm gonna be using the barbecue sauce from Steers. I got this in the shop for reasonably high price. I've been taking it out and I've put some sauce onto them. Sorry if it's a little bit messy. So yeah, sorry if that's messy, but I'm gonna just put this in the oven and let those stay so that they can just be hot. Okay, so I've got a wolf cut in there just to taste and see whether or not my oil is actually hot enough for what I wanted to do. So I'm just gonna leave this in here for a little bit, and then until it heats up as much as I would like it to, and then get everyone else inside. I think now I can actually get everything else inside. It's crazy how I'm starting with the off cuts, but hey, YOLO, you need something to eat. Chef's pot. These are, so to say, almost done. Just the nice part about cooking these is they're already cooked. So what you're doing is just you're getting a nice crust on them, and then you could optionally add cheese. You could add a whole lot of other things in here if you would like to. I'm gonna take these off the heat because I am pretty satisfied with how they are. Okay, as you can see, our wedges are going about nicely, nice and crispy. So I'm gonna take these out. So in my pan, well, I don't actually have anything at the present moment. I'm gonna add in some oil. And then in me adding in some oil, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some red onions that I chopped up. That was about half of a red onion. So I'm just going to have that in here going for a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the burger sauce. So what it's going to have is the following. It's going to have the world's best mayonnaise, obviously, which is Hellmann's mayonnaise. What I'm going to also have in there is some Wellington sweet chili sauce, not too much. Then what I'm also going to have is the best ketchup in the world. Then I have some Heinz. And then last but not least, I'm going to put on just a little bit of some Dijon mustard, just, you know, for a different taste, pretty much, so to say. You're going to see that it's a tad bit lumpy because obviously Hellmann's is kind of, sorry, Hellmann's is not as smooth as the other mayonnaises are, so it's a bit chunky. So that's why you're going to find that mayo burger sauce is kind of lumpy, but this is kind of it. This is it. So I've got the mushroom burger on a plate and I just garnished it with some parsley because there's parsley in there. The reason I'm not putting this in a bun is because I don't particularly know how people in my house are going to react. I don't think they want to find a mushroom burger in a bun particularly, and you know, they might like it, they might not like it. We're all different. I like it, they might not like it, so that is why this is presented like this. So this is done. You could pretty much just put it in a burger as you would in the rest that I'm going to show you. Well, to start assembling my burger, I'm going to start with my chicken burger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the burger sauce as a base. Yeah, so you could toast your bun, you know, if you wanted to. It's very optional how you want to do that. So I'm going to put the burger sauce on both sides of the burger. Oops, actually, just to have that, you know, on both sides, and I know that I have that on both sides already. And then what I'm going to do afterwards is I'm going to add in some lettuce. I'm going to be using this 4-season salad packet from Pick. Sorry, I'm gonna open it up. I like this one for burgers and like salads and stuff. I don't know, it makes sense. It just makes sense. So I'm just gonna get that in there. You can put as much lettuce as you want, you know what? They're not really gonna judge you for how much lettuce you're gonna put. And then afterwards, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on about 2 slices of tomato in here. And then afterwards, I'm going to put in my schnitzel, because I'm doing, like I said, the chicken one. I'm going to get in the schnitzel in there. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in some gherkins. I got these from Pick n Pay. The Miami sweet and tangy, sorry if you guys can see that, sweet and tangy sliced gherkins for hamburgers. You could actually honestly get like the full gherkins and cut them up yourself, but hey, laziness is a real thing in my life sometimes. So I'm just gonna layer a couple of those on here. I personally love gherkins. If burgers don't have gherkins, I don't know what we're doing, right? I'm gonna get that in there, and then I'm gonna take my onions. Since this onion, the thing is about these onions, right? You just need to like make a lot because onions will disappoint you if you're caramelizing them. So I'm just not gonna put too much. I'm just gonna put just a little bit. So like I said, that's pretty much our burger done. Our chicken burger. That's how it's going to look like. Okay, pretty much it's exactly the same thing for the beef burgers. What I would like to add in sometimes is in the palms is honey mustard. Just a little bit of, I don't know what, but it tastes good first and foremost, and it makes everything like just look better. So I just added now wedges for you guys to see. Sorry, I'm actually using my hands with the tripod, so if it's shaking, I'm sorry. I put the wedges in so you guys see what the whole meal looks like. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is what dinner today is looking like, not would be looking like, is looking like. I can't wait to get into this. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell their friends, so that everybody ends up on the video. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat now, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers, bye.